Hi, welcome to our fifth grade open house. I am Ms. Schultz and I am your child's math teacher. I'm going to go over a little bit of the basic information about our fifth grade and then I will talk a little bit about our math class. So every day we follow the schedule. We have interventions between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Also during that time, students who are not necessarily pulled for small group will be working on morning work and anything that's not complete, or if they've been absent, catching up on anything that they needed to get completed. After that, they have enrichment from 9 to 10. Then we start our first block at 10, and then the schedule will follow for the rest of the day with lunch and recess during that second block time. One big change for fifth grade coming from fourth grade is that we have 9 grades for the 9 weeks instead of 7. So that will be the one of the biggest changes. Those grades do not mean that there are 9 tests or assessments. It just means that we have 9 grades. So it could be a variety of things such as projects, quizzes, homework, writings, those types of things. Grades are updated weekly in PowerSchool, and we encourage students to check that weekly at least. We know that parents also are checking that, but we like our fifth graders to get in the habit of checking PowerSchool as well. Conduct is recorded in their conduct booklet, which is located in their red VIP folder. That should be with them at school every day. Excuse me. It is for a 9-week period, so it will start over. Also, there are some behaviors that obviously are a little bit beyond a conduct mark, so there might be a time when a student would receive a minor infraction or major referral instead of a conduct mark, which parents would be notified, and that would be communicated with them if that were to happen. So weekly newsletters are posted in our fifth grade Google Classroom. It's labeled fifth grade 2021-2022. We post that every week, typically on Monday. So it's posted, and that allows you to know, as well as the students, to know what we are covering in each week. Any assignments that are for a grade will be in bolded ink, and any other little notes that we need or reminders will be listed on that newsletter as well. Also included on the newsletter is all of our contact information. If a student is absent, though, and they know they're going to be absent, they can notify us ahead of time so that we can try to make a plan of what they need to do. But if they are not able to let us know things happen, they should know to check the newsletter to see what's being covered in class. Any graded assignments would need to be made up in a timely manner, and it is their responsibility to ensure that that work is made up, meaning they will need to come talk to each teacher, email each teacher, and make a plan for whatever needs to happen for them to get those grades and assignments completed. Students may bring water bottles to refill. We are not able to use the water fountains, but there is a water bottle refilling station, so they can do that throughout the day. Hand sanitizer should be frequently applied. We are washing hands. We have sinks and soap in our classrooms, so this is done throughout the day. We are using disinfectant wipes to clean the desk, and they're also disinfected at the end of the day. The time, which I covered on the schedule, but we do have built-in time in the mornings for intervention, and that is also makeup time as well as study time. All right, so another big thing about fifth grade, or included in fifth grade, are the computers. We use computers for all of our 4 classes, as well as they're using them for enrichments as well. Fifth graders are able to bring their computers home, so it has to be charged each night. This is a privilege for them to be able to take the computers home, so it needs to come to school ready to go. In the event that students' computers come to school and they're not charged, they do receive a conduct mark for that. After so many of those, we just go ahead and keep the computer at school and we charge it at school, so that way they are able to get their work done. They're not able to borrow a computer from somewhere, so a whole day without their computer, if they have a test or any other graded assignments, it's going to be a lot of catch-up work for them. So they must be entrusted to complete their work on their computers, as we use them daily for instruction and assessment. Therefore, there are serious consequences for playing games on the computer, such as minor infractions and then major referrals if it continues. LEAP testing in fifth grade is now on the computer. So to prepare students for this, all of our assessments throughout the year will be on the computer. This allows them to practice using the online testing features, practice reading online versus on paper, and improve their typing skills in preparation for online standardized testing. If a student were to be online virtually, we do have a list of expectations, which are posted in the fifth grade classroom. Just they need to be on time. Attendance is taken every day. All grade assignments that students are doing on class are also they are responsible for, even if they're online. They should be as close to a normal school setting as they can get, meaning not laying in the bed, not laying on the couch, not watching TV. If they can be isolated, that would be the best so they could focus. But we understand that cannot always happen. We can still give small group instruction if we need to while we're online. And we have access to a program that allows us to see what students are doing on their screen to help them if needed and ensure that they are working. So we are able to monitor on our end what is going on, what they are doing, or if they're stuck and there's something they need help with. All right, and just a little bit about our math class. So like I previously said, there are 9 grades in math that would consist of topic or module or checkpoint tests. There are fluency quizzes that we will be doing every week, which are averaged together. Currently, those fluency quizzes will be based off of sprints. So they'll have a sprint for homework for the week, and then the quiz will be a sprint that is based off of the one they did for homework. Homework and participation is averaged together. So homework will look, it could look a few different ways in my class. There will be homework assigned weekly. It will be found on the newsletter. If they, are not here and need to or they can't remember what I said, it'll be found on the newsletter. It will more than likely, most of the time, be problems that are in the Succeed book, which is the one with the red spine, and I only assign maybe 3 problems a night, if that. But if it's not in the workbook, it could be complete a Khan Academy. I'm checking fluency, so they do their fluency practice on extra math. Again, like I said, they could have the sprint to do. Could be a study guide. So it could be a few different things. But whatever it is, I am checking for completion. I'm not checking for accuracy. I do not want, and I've told the students this, I do not want them going home upset and frustrated with math. I want us to work together. So if they go home and they're not able to complete the homework, even with the resources that are provided, we will work on a plan and try to figure it out. And as far as the resources that are provided, I have mentioned this through Remind and in talking to some parents, but all my lesson materials are posted in Google Classroom every day, and that includes a video that goes with the lessons. So it is a short video covering the concept development, which we cover in class. So they are able to go back and watch that daily, or if they just feel like they need some extra support or just want some extra practice. Also, they can get into Khan Academy. There are lessons assigned to them that cover the skills that we are covering in class. Happy Numbers is another program that is following Eureka, so it's giving them skills that we are covering in class by module. And Khan Academy and Happy Numbers are both reinforcing and just practicing what we are doing in class. The other resource that we have is the Extra Math website, which is for fluency practice. I'm asking that be practiced. If it could be every night, it would be important, but I understand that cannot always happen, but they should be practicing at least a couple of times a week. Parent tip sheets are also posted in Google Classroom. I will be sending those home and posting them, and that will be coming to you at the beginning of a module as well as topic changes. And that's just going to have some vocabulary that we're using, examples of the types of skills that we are using. It's only just to kind of give you a little overview of what we are covering in class. But at any point in time, if there are questions, please message me or send me an email. I am here to help. We'll work on it what we can in class if the resources are not helping with that skill at home. So please do not hesitate to let me know if there's a question or a concern. Um, there will sometimes be in-class projects or an activity that will also be for grade, but the main grades that you will see for math will be through the topic test, fluency quizzes, and the homework. So please, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm so excited to get to teach your students this year. I love fifth grade and I love math. If I could make them all love math as much as I do, I would be just so ecstatic. But even just helping them to be successful this year in fifth grade is definitely a blessing. So thank you so much.
Hi parents, welcome to Open House. This is Miss Russo. I am your child's ELA teacher this school year. So I know Miss Schultz went through a lot of general fifth grade information, so I'm popping in just for a second to kind of give you an overview of ELA this year and what students' grades will consist of through ELA. So, to give you an overview of what ELA will look like in fifth grade, we will have 3 units that we will cover. There's a chance we will get to our 4th unit. It just depends on how we get through the first 3 units and the timing of those units. Our first unit is the unit that we started last week, which is the making of a scientist. Unit 2 is the birch bark house. Unit 3 is Wonderstruck. So I hope the students are going home and talking to you about what we've been reading. The text we've been reading in class for Unit 1 is the Templeton Twins. We've only gotten to read the prologues of that book, but I think the kids are really enjoying it, and I think they're definitely going to continue enjoying it too. For each unit, students are going to read a variety of literary and informational texts throughout the unit. Through those texts is where we will get our writing grades from. Each unit consists of 3 main tasks within it. One would be the benchmark exam, also called the cold read task in ELA. Each unit has one of these, and whichever quarter that benchmark exam falls, it's a little bit different depending on what lesson they want us doing it in the unit. That will be taken as one of the 9 grades that we will get for ELA. Another task is the end of unit writing or the culminating writing, which is almost the last assignment they do in the unit. It's kind of taking everything that they've done together and answering a big prompt that they've been working up towards throughout the unit. So that will also, wherever that falls in the quarter, that will be taken as a writing grade on the report card as well. Finally, there's an extension task. This is a task that is done after a unit is finished. It's almost a project. Each one is a bit different. One might be a research project. Some have been Google presentations. Others have been posters. All of them have been different, but again, that will fall into our grades for the 9 weeks wherever it falls in the unit. So to give you an overview of what the grades will look like, one of those changes I know Ms. Schultz mentioned earlier in her overview, which was that we changed from getting 7 grades a subject each quarter to 9. Another adjustment in from 4th grade to 5th grade is on their report cards, they will only see ELA. In 3rd and 4th grade, they saw reading and writing as 2 different subjects. That is not the same in 5th grade. In 5th grade, they simply see ELA, and we will get 9 grades for ELA. So over here on the other side of the screen, I've kind of gone through what those different grades would be, and I want to run through those very quickly. The reading comprehension test and the writings will be the bulk of where our grades will come from. So to start, I would like to give 2 to 3 reading comprehension tests. Always would shoot for 3 of those. I have in parentheses that those will be LEAP-like. And basically what I mean by that is they will follow the same format that their 4th grade ELA tests follow and the format that the LEAP test follows, which is multiple choice in Part A, Part B format, and also to do 2 or 3 writings. The curriculum gives us many opportunities for writing. It is very heavy in writing. So definitely would like to do a variety of writings. We completed our first writing of the quarter on Monday. Some writings will look like that. Some writings will be a bit more complex, longer, multi-paragraph essays, and we will work up to that as the year progresses. Another grade that I would like to get is a project or an in-class assignment. So a second ago, I talked about the extension task that would qualify as a project. Finally, the last two grades that we would get are averages. The first one would be quizzes. The second would be homework and participation. Basically, my idea for quizzes is to give book quizzes. So right now in Unit 1, The Making of a Scientist, the novel that we're reading, almost the anchor text of the unit, is called The Templeton Twins. So by the middle of next week, we will have read chapters 1 through 4. So on Wednesday of next week, we will take a small, short, multiple choice book quiz on the Templeton Twins chapters 1 through 4. I would like to do that to give them even more reading comprehension exposure, but also to stay up to date with their reading and how they're progressing through that text. I would like to do 3 or 4 of those to get a good average of those for one letter grade. Homework and participation. I shoot to give one homework assignment a week, and I definitely want it to be an extension of what we've done in class. This week, I posted it Monday, is a reading practice test to prepare them for their first reading comprehension test on Thursday. I put it together for them. I posted it on Monday. It's not due until Thursday. That is what I shoot for homework assignments. Something that's an extension of something that we're doing heavily in class. Anytime we have a reading test, I try very hard to give them a practice test, and that would be an example of something I do for homework. Participation is basically completing exit tickets. If we have a graphic organizer that we're completing as we're reading a text, that students are completing that graphic organizer. And I will combine homework and participation to one letter grade. Again, just an extension and more practice of what we're doing in class. So that's basically it. That's the overview of ELA. If you have any questions about this, if you ever have questions for me about anything, send me an email, reach out to me through Remind. I'm always available and want to be available for anything that you possibly need. So just let me know if there's anything I can do. Thank you. Y'all have a great week.
Hi, I'm Melissa Reneker, and welcome to 5th grade science. This year, our students will continue to master new science standards using the Amplify Science curriculum. Our science year is divided into 4 main units. Each unit begins with a science question and broken into smaller chapters. We'll learn new vocabulary that will help us discover answers to those big science questions through the use of hands-on investigations, digital simulations, creating models, and even paired informational texts. Our grades each quarter will include chapter tests, a unit test, chapter writings, an average of quiz grades, and also an average of lab participations. We will work on an interactive notebook throughout the unit, and this will include notes and information that might be important and also a valuable resource for studying for those chapter and unit tests. I'm looking forward to meeting you and getting to know your children. I'm already excited to see that we have some future scientists in our classroom.
Hi everyone. If you don't know me from last year, my name is Hannah Versajay. I am your kiddos this year's 5th grade social studies teacher. So some changes this year from 4th grade. In 4th grade, our biggest change from 4th grade to 5th grade is grades. In 4th grade, we had 7 grades. In 5th grade, we have 9. It's a lot. So what's going to happen is we are going to be having grades from quizzes. We're going to have several quizzes this year. I'm going to average those up to make a test grade. We're going to have a couple of like traditional tests, with the leap-like questions and the cold sources. We are going to have in-class projects. We're going to have participation grades. We're going to have homework grades. Okay, so somehow we're going to get 9 grades. Everything is a little crazy right now. The beginning of school, COVID, all that kind of stuff is happening. But it's going to be fine. We're going to work it out. The rest of social studies is going to be very similar to the way I taught last year in 4th grade. It is going to be content-based. When we were in school, guys, you memorized a list, you took a test, you passed your test, you moved on. It's not like that anymore. Kids have to understand concepts, okay? This year is going to be a lot of indigenous cultures, a lot of French and Indian War at the end of the school year. So currently we're talking about the Aztec Empire and the characteristics that it takes to make a civilization. Students are going to have to understand what that means in order to get to the next piece. Yes, there is going to be rote memorization. You have to know what a hemisphere is, or you have to know what trade means, or accumulated learning. That's stuff on their quiz, okay? But for the most part, they're going to get sources that they've never seen before and have to apply the knowledge from class to pass that test. Now, social studies is still social studies. It's a lot of lecture. It's a lot of Google Slide, which is the PowerPoint. It's going to be a lot of note taking, a lot of analyzing maps. That kind of stuff really hasn't changed. Excuse me. But your kiddos are going to have to understand concepts. I will provide some study guides this year, but I don't think they're very helpful because I can't give you answers. They're going to have to understand the concept in order to pass the test. Just like last year, our policies haven't changed. When it becomes a D or an F on a test, we're going to reteach the topic, retest the topic. That new grade we put into the Google Classroom. The highest grade we'll do is a C on retest. That really hasn't changed from fourth grade. If you have any questions, guys, whatsoever, fastest way to get in touch with me. My phone's on me all the time. I will say the reception's not so great in my homeroom classroom, so it sometimes takes a little while. If not, email me. Email hasn't changed from last year. That's hannah.bursaj@apsb.org. If you have a question, guys, reach out to me. No big deal. We got this. The world's crazy. Your kids are safe in the classroom. We're going to make it work. If you have a question, y'all reach out to me. Bye, guys.